Let's cover a few issues because I do think it is a problem for a lot of people the way Richard Tice cavalierly said that lot, which included me in that lot. Um, it is a problem, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter what you think of him or what you think he thinks of us. What matters is that reform are the only vehicle that we've got at the moment that we can rely on to affect change politically. Now, a lot of people say, I see it on the thread, oh, June for MP, June, why don't you stand as an MP? I don't want to stand for as an MP because I don't always agree with political parties. I see the flaws in reform. I'm not stupid. They disappoint me in some ways, but they don't disappoint me as much as looking at the Uni Party, the Tories and Labour. They're worse, far worse, a million times worse, because they've got that power base and they're abusing it. This bunch, the famous five, they're only trying to do it. You know what Lee Anderson's about? He's a, hey up lad, where's your ferret? I'll bring back capital punishment. You know what he's about. No matter what party badge he stood on, he wouldn't change the way he is. So you know what you're getting, don't you? That's why he's got back in under his own stead. Richard Tice was just a posh boy that doesn't agree with a lot of what the Tories are doing because it's not conservative. So he's pulled away ages ago and, was an MEP and all the rest of it with the Brexit Party. Rupert Law is a critical player in this game. Rupert Law is an outstanding MP and is a farmer. Result right now, if there's one area you want someone to have a bit of expertise in right now, I'd say it's farming. So, from my point of view, I'm using reform because they're the only ones about, and it's too late to start with other parties. And the Heritage Party, David Curtin's a really nice bloke, but I can't support really small parties like that when I know they won't get anywhere. They'll just split the vote. It's not that I'm against them. I'm looking at the time is of the essence. You've got to fight with the warriors that you've got, and we need 5 to be increased. And the fact that reform came second in 97 constituencies shows you there's a chance of a real impact on Parliament. That's all I'm bothered about. Now, the thing with Ben Habib, if Ben Habib stood as an independent, I think he should be an MP. I don't care which party he's with, because at this stage in the game, we're not really voting for a government, are we? We're voting for people to become an opposition, because the one thing our politics has not had, it's an opposition. Nobody's opposed anything that's gone on the last few years. And even now, it's a Labour move to have this pet passport thing for Northern Ireland. That you have to, when you're taking your dogs to the mainland, you have to have a bloody passport that you'd normally use to travel abroad. How wrong is that? What's Kemi Badenoch done? She's bloody well waved it through, told all the Tories to abstain. That's not a Tory opposition. She should be pushing back there. That shouldn't get off the ground. So, with reform, I want them to be successful. That doesn't mean I agree with everything that they do, but you've got to look at some of the people that they've got. Lee Anderson's his own man, and he doesn't take any messing off anybody, and he'll probably get in again because he'll be a good constituency MP. Tice, posh boy. I've nothing really to say. I don't know how he's faring as an MP. I don't follow it. He's probably doing all right, actually. I mean, they can't be any worse than what we've got. And then we've got Rupert Law, who is exceptional, and Nigel Farage, exceptional. This is a good starting block for change. This is an excellent starting block. And don't forget, Ben Habib has been proactive in setting this lot up. And, all right, they're probably a bit at loggerheads right now. But you can't not support reform because you support Ben. I deal with Ben a lot. I share all his stuff. I talk to him in WhatsApp. I send him messages. We discuss things together. I have him up there. He's up there to me. He's Ben Habib. I don't think you can get anyone any better. And I think he gets a lot of criticism because of his background, which is bloody stupid. How numpty do you want to be? God, that just does wind me up. The guy's a good guy. He'd be an excellent MP. He should be in politics. He should be in the House. But even if he isn't, he's got enough about him to keep getting invited on TV and keep speaking and keep putting the message out. That's all good advertising for all the things we believe in. We believe in family. We believe in the right to be the best we can be. We believe in a fair and reasonable constitution whereby people from non-government organisations cannot inflict laws and legislation and infringements on our life. I don't want someone from the WHO telling me I have to stay in my house because of something they consider sat in Zurich or Buenos Aires is unsafe. No, sod off. You have no idea what my life is like in Lancashire. I'm quite capable of looking after myself. Many people are in this country. We've all managed to get through life, buy houses, have kids, send them to school, brush our teeth, go to the doctors, take some exercise, not become alcoholics, not become drug addicts, not become criminals. Why do we need more government? We don't. We're doing it fine ourselves, and that's what I push for. The right to autonomy, especially body autonomy. Nobody's telling me to put something inside my body that I don't want inside it. Unless it's Kevin Costner. Might make a few exceptions. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So don't think I'm some fanboy with reform. I'm not. I just see it as I think that'll work. Just like I would if I was buying a property or starting a business. I'd think to myself, that'll work. You know, when I first started doing this, somebody said, oh, how can you be bothered? Nobody will ever listen to you. And I went, well, they will. And, well, how are you going to do it? I said, I don't know, but I'll do it. I know I can do it. I know if I set my mind to something, I can do it. And if we support reform, knowing the shortcomings, we still have a vehicle we can use for us. It's yourself you're supporting. It's what you want out of life. It's the 5 a day, the good things. Everything in your life has been put there by you. And it's important to continue that ethos so that you can continue to do more for your family. You're not going to get that with either of the main parties. Kemi Badenoch is living proof. She's a front man, a stooge, a puppet, whatever you want to call her. Wef, sycophant, I don't care what you call her. And when you look at how, you know, the higher level Masonic influences in our country, whoa, that's scary stuff. I don't mean your normal masons at local lodges who were fundraising for, you know, spina bifida and stuff like that. That's a different thing altogether. So what you've got to look at, we are pushing back, the main vehicle to push back politically, and that's where all your laws are made. That's where the finger wagging goes on. That's where you must do this, you must not do that. That's where it all goes on with the legislator, which is Parliament. So we need people inside there. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Ronald MacDonald and wearing a D-cut bra on your head for a hat. As long as you stand in Parliament and defend what we have a right to be, which is individuals, free thinking, free living, free speech. That's it. That's all I want. So I'll keep doing this because as a neutral voice, I've never joined a political party because I don't want, if ever I say anything good or bad, I don't want it to be because people think, oh, she's only saying that because she's a member. I'm not. I've never joined, and I didn't join the Tories. I got in the conference because they never suspected I weren't a Tory. Therefore, they should have checked up on me, shouldn't they? But that's what I'm saying. We need reform, whether we like them or not. That's what I'm saying. And even Ben Habib, you look at Ben Habib, I think he's been on Paul Thorpe, he will tell you that he sees reform as a vehicle of change. And he's trying to kind of hold them to account in a way. Don't let these people down. Because these people we're talking about is us. It's us that got let down in 2016. We won. Do you feel like a winner? Or do you feel like you're still fighting? I got interviewed by Lewis Goodall ages ago at a Brexit rally in Overwire, which is near Blackpool. And Lewis Goodall from Sky TV said, oh, you sound very angry. I said, and this was about 2019, I think I was 17. I said, you'd feel angry if you'd won something, you were still having to fight for it. Of course you're going to be angry because you've won, you've voted, you've done the right thing, you've all gone back to work. And what's happened? They've delayed it, dragged it out, and we still haven't got it. They let us down again with Boris Johnson. He promised also, it's like Billy Bloody Bunter crossed with Red Scuttle. Yes, he's going to die in a ditch how many times? How many times has he been in that ditch? And we still took it to the wire. New Year's Eve, for God's sake, on the deadline. That stinks. So I'm finished with Boris. That's it. He's just a commentator to me now, and he's no Tory. When I say Tory, I'm talking Conservative. So that's why we have to support these people, because they've got a foot in the door. They're in. They're already in. 5 MPs in a very short-term campaign to get elected. Because the main parties love that, because they've far more chance of getting repeated seats in something like that. So that's why I support reform, for exactly the same reasons that Benbe will still support them, even though he may or may not stay within the party. It's different for Ben. He wanted to be an MP. I didn't. I don't. I'm too old. I'm not interested in standing around arguing about bus stops. I'd rather sit here with all my stuff, 2 phones and a computer, see what's going on, and if I see stuff that I think you're not getting told, I can think, right, they're having this because we deserve to know more than we get told.